Good morning, YouTube. What is happening? Definitely near John Kerry Day here today, but rain's always good. Gonna bring some warm sunshine with it when this passes. So, bus sitting out in the rain there. Been driving the Mustang the last day or two, hanging out in that. I like that car. So this is what's happening. I'm working on the thing this morning. It's the day after the epidural block. They were a little rough with me yesterday, but I'm out here making it happen. So I gotta get this transmission back together. That's what's first on the list of stuff to do for me today. And this is just going to be a reseal, but it popped out of reverse. I did have to pull the gearbox out because it was leaking. This has been rebuilt once. Gasket was compromised, and rather than leave it with a gearbox leak, I went ahead and popped it out. And we're going to reseal the gearbox. We're going to reseal the side cover and the flange seals there. And we found reverse. It had an issue when it came in. The tranny worked really well. I drove the car. The only issue was it popped out of reverse. It's got a pretty mangled idler gear here. That's what they call this. This is a small part of the reverse setup. And ideal situation, you'd want to replace these in a match set. I've done it both ways, and it's reverse. You're not going 100 miles an hour backing up, and you can see this gear is pretty small anyway. So next time you get stuck in the sand with a late model buggy, you might want to think about hammering on reverse, because that's what's in there. So what we're going to do is replace one of the gears. This is the not the correct gear ratio for what these people want. They spend a lot of money on other stuff right at the moment, and the gearbox will come later. So we're going to patch this up the best we can. I have a new gear here that I found, pretty decent one. I cleaned it up, polished it up, filed the edges, and now we're going to set it up in the box. So I thought I'd turn the camera on. It's really not a jig for reverse. We didn't mess with any of the Ford gears. Like I said, they all worked really well. So basically I just cleaned the box up, put my wrench on all the shift forks, made sure they were tight, and now we're going to adjust reverse, how deep it rides into the gear on the shaft, on the pinion shaft. You have this idler gear, and then you have the reverse slider, and actually it's a first and second gear slider in reverse there. All acts as one piece. So we're going to try to engage the gear a little deeper. I cleaned this gear up, deburred it, tried to clean the broken tooth up the best they can. Of course, if they land on that tooth and hammer it in reverse, it's gonna break. But you can see where I polished the teeth up where it was jumping out. You can see that one's a little short, so that's where you don't want to end up getting stuck. The rest of the gear looks pretty good, but to change that gear, you pretty much got to press the whole box apart, and you're getting into a rebuilt tranny. And I'm not going to rebuild a tranny that they don't like the gear ratio on. A ring and pinion, some of you guys are like, why don't you just rebuild it and change the ring and pinion? Well, a ring and pinion is $240, I think. 250 bucks for a 388 now. They're getting hard to find. You can buy a new one. If you buy a Freeway Flyer box from Rancho or anybody, they're about $900. I built mine for about $700. The one in the blue car, it's a 388 with a 077, I think, fourth or 089. I can't remember what fourth gear it has, but it's a long box for the highway. This is a 412 ring and pinion. So let's go ahead and patch this up. I'm going to try to get this back together, and when we put the new transmission in there, we can address all the other gear ratio issues then. So it's not a lot of labor to change an IRS tranny out, so it's not a big issue at this point. Let's go ahead and adjust this reverse deal. I'll show you what we can do here. It was not engaging all the way, and there is a little bit of adjustment you can make on reverse. There's an 11mm bolt right here you need to loosen, and that'll let you move this lever, and this controls where it's going to sit on the how the gears will line up. One thing you want to make sure of is that you don't have the reverse arm pulled past the detent. They will pull past the detent. Don't set it up like that. Set it up in the ball. So this is what we're taking out. It's pretty beat up, pretty ragged, rounded off, and was barely making any contact. We'll go ahead and make an attempt to make it a little bit nicer for them, and fix the leaks at the same time. I just don't want to put it back together crappy, so I have to at least make an attempt to make it right. So you can see there's quite a range here. Sort of hold this flat. This is supported by the idler shaft in the gearbox, so we don't have our idler shaft, but we can pretty much see where it's engaging on the pinion gear there, or the reverse gear on the pinion shaft. And the other day I did say that first gear did not have a synchronizer. I meant to say reverse doesn't have a synchronizer, so if I confused anybody by that, I apologize. But you can see as we move this up, we're looking for maximum engagement on this gear. Even if we go a little bit past, that's good, because that'll get us into more of the teeth that still have some integrity left. So we're going to do both things here. We're going to put a gear in here, and then we're going to adjust it a little deeper. You don't want to get it too deep. You sort of have to be the idle shaft here and make sure that you get this gear as perfect to level as you can. It will be level in the box as it's operating on that shaft. So I like to try to get it level. And by level, I mean the fork is just on a pin, and it can turn from one way to the other. You want to make sure that it's flat when you're doing this, so you have a good indication of where you're going to be. Also, you can see that it needs a little support out on the edge before you tighten this nut, because it does hang down some. So if you tightened it here and then you put it on the rail, it's going to be way past where it needs to be. So make sure that's looking pretty good right there. Give it a little tighten. You can't get these too tight. I don't know exactly what the torque spec is on the book, but I like to make the shift fork nuts, bolts, as tight as you can get them without breaking them. You can feel them stretch, and you'd be surprised how much leverage all this has with the shifter. So you want to make sure these are tight. I've seen people build trannies before, put all this together, and have the 1-2 shift fork come loose, especially in a drag car. It can be abused pretty hard. So I'm gonna get this as tight as I can. And got a little slop in there, so I might move it up a tad more. Just a tad. I'm gonna be greedy. So I want it to have maximum engagement here. So basically, the way I clean the gear up, I want it to be able to pass the bad teeth and get on a new part of the gear that it hasn't been riding on. I try to buff the gears up a little with a Rolex wheel, so they won't be so loud. But for some reason, reverse is always super loud in a thing. If you have a thing, you know that. The last one that was here was the same way. It howled in reverse. And I'm sure it has the same problem. A lot of these get driven on the beach, and if you go to the beach here in Florida, you're gonna get stuck in the sand sooner or later. That's about perfect there, right at the top. We really can't go much further. Let's make sure this is tight. And then we'll tighten it a little more. There we go. Again, you always want to put your wrenches on the 1, 2, and 3, 4 slider and make sure the bolts are tight. And they are. Now we'll, sorry about that, I zoomed in, but I was trying to let you see the mesh there. Now we'll shift it out of reverse. It's out of reverse. I want to make sure that when it's out of reverse that it's not coming too far back, hitting second gear here. And we're good. We're good. So again, we'll engage it. Yeah. We'll use a screwdriver. I don't want to. That should work good. As good as it did, and hopefully a little bit better. Hopefully it'll give them a little better service and not pop out of gear. Or break that tooth off. So here we go. We went from the old one to the much nicer gear. You can see it's got much more contact on the tooth surface there. So we'll go ahead and get this cleaned up the rest of the way, and get a gasket kit out and start popping the new gaskets in. This just gets a gasket on it. Maybe I'll do a video and show you how to put that together. You got to drop it in, line the pinion up here. It goes there towards the main shaft. First gear shaft, I should say, the notch lines up with. But anyway, we'll put a gasket on that, and then we got to heat the case, and it should drop in. Alright, so that's that. And let me see if I can get you off the stand here. Maybe. There we go. Sorry about shaking you to death. Anyway, that's what's going on with the thing. The motor's pretty much done. A few little more trinkets. There you go, Milo. But yeah, I gotta clean this case the rest of the way up, put it over in the safety clean. Here's our idler shaft that reverse rides on. And you can see you have to line your pinion bearing up because it's actually, the case is cut out for the nut. So you want to make sure your nut drops into that correctly. You can see if you look in here, where somebody had a hard time with it last time and damaged the case a little bit right here. We'll make sure that that's not an issue, but it shouldn't be a problem. Get the rest of this gasket off, and we'll be off to the races. You can see nobody used any sealer on these, and the quality of the gasket is so crappy now that if you put sealer on them, it'll actually break the gasket. So yeah. So that's what's happening here. I got a tranny job on a Hyundai. It's over here. We'll get to that in a little while after the thing leaves. Sticks in third gear or something. And they got a junkyard tranny.
I'm running to the bank. I'll be right back.
You're going to the bank? You want to mention the Milo thing?
We can. That's part of the reason I'm going to the bank.
Okay.
You guys are great. So far, we have raised $1,400 for Milo. So that's a good job, guys.
$1,400. That happened from all you guys in YouTube Garage, and some of you guys that weren't in the YouTube Garage donated money also. So it's cool that everybody comes together and although you can't replace somebody with money, hopefully that'll help ease the pain a little bit with V and get her through these times where
Help with the expenses.
yeah. So Milo's being cremated. We don't know if there's going to be a service or not, but Andrew will try to get you as much information as we can. You know, it's a sensitive time right now, so we just help them the way that we can, and you guys definitely did that. We already sent the money orders off yesterday.
No, we're sending them today.
Sending them.
The address.
Okay, so she'll be getting those money orders this week, and thanks again to all the guys that sent money in. I really appreciate it.
All right, I'm leaving.
All right.
I gotta get the last of the money orders made.
All righty. You driving the truck or the Mustang? What about your throttle body?
I'm not going far. I'll get back home. I got my little scanner just in case.
Okay. Throttle body acted up again, so I guess I fixed that very good. I'm gonna have to replace that more than likely. I don't know if it's a temperature thing or if it's a bad spot in the throttle position sensor, but it's fly-by-wire, no cable, so found a used one for $70. Probably just go that route, buy a used one, stick it on there, and eventually that'll be my truck, and we'll put that motor in the Nova. So that's a whole nother video. So anyway, let me shut this off. It's getting long. Thank you again to the people that sent money in for Milo. I really appreciate it, and his family really appreciates it. And yeah, so it's getting ready to be 2015 here. I'm gonna try to do some good things this year. Keep the videos going for you guys. I enjoy making them, and it's pretty much what I do now. So I'm gonna try to make YouTube more of a full-time thing in the coming years, and try to put a little more effort into the channel. I don't know if I'll ever edit the videos, just because I don't think I have those skills. From time to time I try to edit something, and I really don't understand the concept. I have to sit down with somebody and watch them do it, and then I'll be able to probably edit. But until then, I won't be able to do that. You lose your keys?
No, it's colder than I thought. I gotta keep that.
Colder than you thought. You never know if you're going to be walking in that bad boy.
I don't walk, honey. I gotta go. Somebody's coming to get me.
I hear you. Confidence. All right, everybody, let me shut this off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for doing the right thing.